What is going on, guys? We are back playing some more on the HermitPack. So today we are officially moved into the new base. After setting up the refined storage system, I did expand upon it a little bit. You guys could probably see in the thumbnail. I actually thought the thumbnail for the last video looked pretty darn awesome. I really like how this corner looks right here, but I put down all the additional disk drives. It didn't take actually that long to make with the new automated processing setup over here for the solderers. But then I kind of filled this area in. I tried to work a little bit with creating like a separator to separate these from the rest of the machines. I don't really know if we're going to stick with this. It looks a little bland right now. Maybe we'll add a little bit of green to it, or, orange or something like that. But then I brought the other crafter up here for all of the different miscellaneous patterns we have. And if we ever make more, we can fill in, to the left or right, or this row right here. So that's where all of the refined storage stuff is going to go for now. And the rest of the machines are going to go over here. So these are kind of the random machines, mostly Ender IO, and then of course we've got the one metallurgic infuser. But these are all the miscellaneous machines from the old base. I moved over all of the items, all the machines, basically everything. There's no reason to go back to the old base now. We can do everything over here. I even moved the bed over. It's right up here, which is really nice because since we only have solar panels for power right now and I have no power storage at the moment, we kind of got to keep it daytime. So what we're going to be doing today is working with a couple more machines, and as you can see, my inventory has a fair bit of Mekanism stuff in it, and that is because we are going to be setting up ore processing today, but it's a little bit more complicated than just doing the tier 2 or 3 times ore processing that Mekanism offers. You can really call it either. For some reason, the first tier is referred to as tier 0, which is just like regular ore processing, and then you get to 2 times, which is tier 1, and then 3 times, which is tier 2. Now, before we were only using actually additions ore processing, because really you don't need more than 2 times ore processing when you have a quarry running constantly, and we really don't even need 3 times right now. I just want to do it because it's really easy to set up 3 times ore processing, and we're going to be making a jetpack anyway, so eventually we're going to want the excess gas the electrolytic separator can get us. But what we have to do is going to be a little bit more intricate, because in the system right here, if we look up ore, yeah, we've got plenty of ore that can be processed normally. We've got gold, osmium, nickel, lead, silver, all the different stuff that needs to be processed regularly. You throw it in one end, it goes all the way through the 4 machines, and it comes out as an ingot on the other end. But we also have a bunch of ore that needs to be processed differently, like diamond ore, for example. If we look at the uses of this, yes, we can use the actually additions crusher. You don't want to get the industrial 2 diamond dust. That is useless. You would want the crushed diamond. That can then be smelted down into a diamond a piece. But unfortunately, that's 2 different things that need to be done to it. And I don't actually know. I think all of these should work fine too. Yeah, these should all work fine too. But basically, if we throw the diamonds, if we go over to the recipe and look in the enrichment chamber, 1 process, you put the diamond in, you get 2 diamonds out. That is all that's required. That's the fastest way to go about doing it. It's a single process instead of 2. So we want to do that, and that requires us to be able to throw the diamonds in the middle of our setup. So what we're going to be doing is, if we go over, and I need to grab a conduit so we can actually see this, but right now I am running conduits from right here all the way over and all the way down here to an interface. Now, yes, I could put them into a chest and they could go into an importer, but if you don't already know, you can't directly hook up an importer to a conduit, mainly just because an importer does not have an internal inventory like the interface does, so you have to actually push items into a chest first and then be able to suck them out using a regular importer, which is why I opted to use this instead. And of course, we can use it to export stuff if we ever need to eventually. But what we're going to do is process the ore before it ever gets here, and I believe the best way to go about doing that would be to set this to priority 1 and then leave the rest at priority 0. So if anything can't go into the other ones, it does get dropped in here, but it will prioritize going to all the other ones first. So then if we get random ore like, I don't even know, if we get random ore like cobalt, which we are not going to be using yet, I will use it to upgrade my tools eventually, but it really is not going to get processed in anything that we're doing today, then it can just go straight to our system and it won't be an issue. And hopefully you guys can't hear that truck beeping outside. For some reason, there are so many trucks that go outside my building that are beeping and being loud and all that. It's so obnoxious. I really dislike it, but I don't know if I've told you guys this before. My window is actually broken, so you can't really open and close it. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but it's basically always open when I record videos, which is why I get a little bit of background noise when I'm at school. But that's just a little side note in case you guys could actually hear that. But today we're going to be setting this all up, so I'm sure most of you know how to set up Mekanism ore processing. So let's get this in the right order. So we're going to do Purifying Factory, Crushing Factory, Enriching Factory, and then Smelting Factory. And I believe what we're going to do is kind of go, I think the best way to do it would be do it at, I don't know. I'm trying to think, because right here we've got an awkward space of machines. So I think if it's possible to, I want to set it up right over, I want to do like a strip here that I might actually do with these machines, like right here, and then we put a wall there, and then it would be right here. So this was the smelting factory, so that actually is in the wrong spot. We want the enriching factory to be where this is. So where's enriching factory here, smelting factory here, and then I need to get some sandstone blocks that we can use. This is not the correct one though. They should be the big tile blocks, and these can go here. And then I think we'll put them all the way up at the top then, I guess. We could do that. It doesn't really matter where we put them for now. But we can do, how do I actually, maybe we'll do these just all as compact as possible. No. Okay, we want them at the top. And the reason is because we need to put gas into one of these. So let's go like that. And then we'll do Crushing Factory, Purifying Factory. So eventually I'll make it look a little bit less awkward. But the reason we're doing it like this is because we have to put into the Purifying Factory, what's the oxygen has to go into the Purifying Factory so that we can actually run it. Oh, but that looks so weird. Maybe we just put them in the middle. Maybe we just put all of them in the middle and then put a facade on top. Maybe that's what we do. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll move them down one. That should look better. They look a little bit odd being... Where did that just go? Did I pick that back? Did we just lose that? I don't think you lose these when you break them like that. Okay, enriching factory there. Smelting factory there. I have no idea where that one just went. Did it go upstairs? I don't know why it would have gone upstairs. Huh. Oh, it did go upstairs. That is so weird. I thought I just lost that. Okay. Well, we'll do them like this. And this makes it easy because we can just kind of auto set one to put into the other, but we do have to use a lot of conduits. So we're going to hook up all 4 item conduits to the back here and run them to each other. And we're going to be using a lot of different channels today. A lot of channels. So one thing that I want to look into doing is I don't know if we can actually use fluid conduits, and I didn't think to test this out, but I don't know if pressurized fluid conduits would be able to transport Mekanism gas. Because if that was possible, it would simplify the process a lot, because we do have to put that in here. And I don't know if Mekanism offers really good facade to kind of cover it on this side. We'll have to see, but we're going to worry about getting the actual water first. So now that this is hooked up, we kind of know where everything's going to go. So we're going to be using the Ender.io reservoirs to actually get water, and what this allows us to do is circumvent using energy for a pump, because we can use the Ender.io reservoirs with the Ender.io fluid conduits to pull water out without actually having to use a pump. And the pump uses up most of the energy when you have to end up adding, speed upgrades and energy upgrades to it. That is what takes most of the energy for the ore processing. So we're going to prevent all of that by setting this up here. And I want to put it somewhere on the ceiling. It is affected by gravity for the conduits, so putting it up there will make it much more effective, unless you want to use pressurized conduits. So I think we're going to use it right, we could probably do it right over, well, we want to do it right over here, actually, because of how everything's going to come. Oh, great. Okay, I'm going to have to put this sand back upstairs eventually. We're going to put this in the ceiling right here, and these are really cool. So basically what you do is you put the reservoirs down, and then you're going to add a bunch of water to it, and it'll act like an infinite source block, but it'll allow it to be elevated. So it's essentially going to be a 2x2 infinite pool in the air. Now, the reason that I'm doing 2x2 is because I've tested a 3x1, and that actually can end up losing its infinite water source block because of how this drains. I don't know if 2x2 has the same issue. I never ran into it, and it's a non-issue once your electrolytic separator is completely full with water, but when it's initially filling, it can actually drain it really fast. And so now we should have infinite source right here. We should be able to pull water out, and I'm going to do that. I believe it refills at 1 bucket a second, so that whole thing will completely refill every second, and this should drain it at max extraction of 100 millibuckets per tick. So I guess that's what can kind of cause the issue when it's, you know, filling up as quickly as possible. But this is going to go right here, and if we were to set this to actually pull it out, then it would be good to go. So then we're going to get the electrolytic separator, and we are going to put this, I guess the best spot might be, putting it next to this honestly wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, because it would be able to automatically output into this. It should be outputting oxygen then directly into this, which would be really nice. So maybe we'll leave it like that for now. How does it look with this block above it? Doesn't look awful. So if we could come up with something else to put down here, maybe like an osmium compressor or a metallurgic infuser. I guess the metallurgic infuser could go down there. Eventually we could hook that up. That's awesome. Okay, so that'll actually work really nice. We'll have all the Mekanism machines together over here. That's the whole idea, is to kind of separate off all of the machines to their different mods. So we'll have those like that. Great. And we'll get the energy to them later. But now the water is going to get pumped into this. And we put this into insert. And we set this to extract without redstone signal. And boom, it's getting filled up. So I got to keep an eye on this. But you can see it's draining that water and refilling. Working perfectly fine. Fill this whole thing up. It goes at a relatively decent speed. Now, if we do need to make it go any faster, I think a pressurized tube can work faster than this if we really needed it to. But I don't know if we will have enough water. I guess the Mekanism pump, the only benefit is they made it so you only need a single block of water below the pump. You don't need to worry about the source refilling fast enough, because that did used to be a relatively large issue. So there are a couple upgrades in here that I can add eventually, and I can make more. A lot of you guys also suggested that I sort this by stack size. I like sorting it by name, but one benefit is I changed the search box to JEI synchronized, so it searches on both, and that's really, really nice in case you're looking to see if you have anything or want to craft it. So if we want to make some energy upgrades for that, we should be able to make, oh, do I not have any gold dust? Okay, we'll worry about making those later. I got pretty much everything we need to make upgrades for all of this, except apparently the gold dust, but we've got that there now. We've got the water going in there, so the minute we put energy to this, it should be able to put oxygen over into our other machine automatically. I think it should be fine. Yeah, it should be fine with that. So we're going to hook up energy to all these right out the gate. So there we go. And now we just have to run one of them down here. We'll run the middle one down. So this should be getting power. It should be putting the oxygen into here. Yep, great. And then we've got the hydrogen going in here. Eventually we can just start stockpiling this in really any container that we could think of. We could probably find some way to just pump it out this side right here, but for now we'll probably put it on dumping excess just because we don't need the hydrogen. Oh wait, you know what? That is not what we want to do. I remembered that I made the gas burning generator, so this is going to be working to get power for us. So maybe we will put this directly next to it so that it can give us some power. So how do we want to do this? Let's look at it when we put it down. So you're going to get the power out the green side, and you can input on all of the other sides. Now this really isn't the greatest looking one, but I really don't, like, the easiest way to use, or to transport this would be to use the pressurized tube. But I think if we put this down here, it'll work fine there, but I don't know if we can put anything to, like, cover it. Because Mekanism doesn't have, let's see if we can look up cover. Yeah, so Mekanism doesn't have any covers. There are a lot of facade from Applied Energistics 2. These would work for Applied Energistics 2 though, and not this. And unfortunately, I don't know if the Ender IO conduit works for this. There is the pressurized fluid conduit, and technically you could consider this to be a fluid. It requires 2 fused quartz, so I guess we can grab out... Oh, we don't even have enough to make that. Okay, you know what? There's actually 2 fused quartz left over in the other base. So I was wrong. I said we wouldn't have to go back over here, but we do. There is a reason to go back over here. So there is one little like set of items that I have yet to move over. This one right here. Really miscellaneous stuff, and then this right here. And I remembered there's 2 fused quartz right there. So we're going to get that, and we're going to head back over. Ooh, and it's almost nighttime again. We got to sleep too. Okay, but this will allow us to test this out. I'd be interested in seeing this because obviously you use the pressurized tube to move stuff out. So if you could use the conduit, it would be really easy to hide, which would be great. Wait. Okay, we're going to test this, but we actually don't even need this. We don't even need this. We're going to test it though. So we're going to go to conduit, and we'll go to pressurized fluid conduit, and we'll go there, and we'll pull that out, and there we go. Okay, so we're going to test this here. We'll break this. Oh my gosh, I forgot it's super slow to break with a pick. We need the wrench. Okay, so we're going to go with pressurized fluid conduit and extract. Okay, so it does not look like it works. We would basically just want to take this, break it, throw it down right back here. Little disappointing, can't lie, cannot lie. Yeah, so we want to throw that down right there. Yeah, so it doesn't work. It hooks up to this perfectly fine, does not connect to this. But if we were to take this, and we actually want to turn this, I should probably just cave and make a wrench, but I'm a little lazy right now. So we're going to circumvent that by doing that to get it so the green hooks up to our power line. And then we are going to come over here, grab the advanced pressurized tube, and put it right there. And boom, this is going to use the hydrogen to generate power for us. So that should get us most of our power back that we're going to be using for this. And you can see that this is going to continue generating oxygen then, because the main thing is we want the oxygen to be full. And if we just dump the excess hydrogen, we'd be wasting it. So this is going to be running. And the reason I said that it's perfectly okay for us to put this here is because we are going to be putting a wall right here and a wall right here. So I believe we want to use where is it? This block right here. We want to use the panels, and those are going to go on this side, and then they're going to get covered up with stuff like this, and we're going to use them on this side. But if we've got a block going down the front there, we're not going to be able to see that anyway. So that'll look much, much nicer, and we can actually get out our brick and start putting this down. And I know I'm just kind of stalling and avoiding actually having to do any real work right now, but we can do this, we can do this, and then we can get out our single chisel design. And what is it currently on? It's currently on the stairs for the top. Yeah. Okay, so it's currently on the stairs for the top. These are going to fill up my inventory because I don't have my bag on me. So let's go to bag. No. Oh, I do have my bag on me. Okay. The first ones just didn't go in the bag. Okay. Ooh, this is running out of power too because it's nighttime. I really do need to get some good power storage. Even if I just get like the EnderIO 25 million RF power storage, that would be fine. But I really need to get that for when it becomes nighttime. Okay, so we need to set this then to, we'll do the bottom one first. So there we go. There we go. And lastly, we need to change it to the middle one. So, oh, come on, dude. You're not hiding in my base. Okay, so there we go. There, and there. See, so you can't even see it. So, get rid of the design on that. We'll ditch this chisel bag, stuff in here. There we go. Okay, so we're all good now. It looks pretty darn nice. You can't even see it over here. You kind of can if you look up there and you see there's an opening, but that's really not the worst thing in the world. So this whole process should be good to go. We're only going to use one metallurgic infuser for now. If we need more later, we can fill them in the bottom or the top. And then right here is where all those other machines are going to go. So I'm actually really liking how this is turning out. Okay, so now we need to worry about getting the items in here. We've done the easy part. We've hooked it all up. Everything is working. Everything is good to go. Now we need to get the items in here. We've got the conduits. It's a little bit messy, but we can start running the items up here. And so what we're going to do is hook up an item conduit right here, and that is going to connect them. And we're going to change this priority over here to priority. We'll change it to priority 10 because we don't want this to be a high priority. It always confuses me because technically priority 0 should be the first priority, like priority numero uno priority is going to be the one it sends to first. And technically the higher priority would be like the higher number. It's just, it confuses me. It gets a little bit confusing, but really we want this one to be the first one. The purifying factory is where all of our regular ore is going to go. So we're going to set this channel to something a little bit different. So we need to go to, what is it? Oh, that's not the right one. This is the right one right here. Okay, so this one is going to be set to insert, or in and out. Okay, so the insert is going to be on channel, let's set it, it's going to be priority 0, channel brown. Okay, so insert is on channel brown. And we're going to come over here, and we're going to change this one from extracting on channel brown. So this is going to send every item in. We'll change this one over here again to channel brown. insert channel brown. So all the items are going to come out of there, and they're going to try to go into this first up here. The purifying factory is where they're going to try and go first. And we want to make it easier, and we just want to filter them out. I've got a filter already, so I don't know if we need the advanced item filter, but we're going to go over and we're going to pick out all the ores that we want to get actually put in there. And I think we need the advanced item filter for this one, but if we go to ore, we'll dump all of this random junk back in here to open up a little bit of space in our inventory. We're going to pull out all of the ores that we've gotten so far that need to get processed in there. And I guess technically we could actually set this to priority 10 and not put a filter on this, really. I mean, that should actually work, shouldn't it? Because if the items try to go in here first and they can't go in there, then they'll go in the other one. Honestly, that is how it should work. But I don't want to risk it. So we're just going to pull out the ores from here, and we're going to make sure the filter is going to work. So I believe we want the yellowite ore to be processed in the purifying factory. Do we? Huh. It actually does not seem like we do. It seems like this one wants to get processed in the enrichment chamber. Okay, let's look at gold ore. So gold ore, we're going to go over, and the gold ore can easily be done in the purification chamber. Perfectly fine. So gold ore is a yes. Tin ore, definite yes. Silver ore, definite yes. This is no on the ruby and sapphire. We'll get those later. Resonating ore, not going to worry about that yet. Redstone, no. Osmium, definite yes. Nickel, yes. Lead, yes. Lapis, no. Iron, yes. Wait, what is iridium ore? We actually have gotten iridium ore? Wow. Wait. Oh, this is not the same. Okay, that's not the same iridium I was thinking of. Okay. Well, never mind that then. Okay, so we've already got the gold. Gallinet, no. Emerald, no. Diamond, no. Copper, yes. Cobalt, no. Coal, no. No on that. Bauxite, no. I don't really think we want to process bauxite there. Yeah, I don't even think we can. And we can't do coal in there either. Okay, so I think we have everything that we need right now in terms of this. So we will need the advanced item filter for this one. Luckily, though, we only need it for a single one. So we should be fine. Do we have like, yeah, we've got tin, silver, lead, nickel, gold, osmium, copper, and iron. I feel like we're missing some. I feel like this is a lot less than I would have expected, but I guess that's perfectly fine. So we'll put those into this one right here. So insert is going to be filtered with the advanced item filter, and we're going to throw all of these in there. And it's got some of the old settings. I don't think those should affect it at all. So there we go. So that should be fine. Those are whitelisted to go in here. So those are going to be the first ones that go in there. Then from that, it's going to be going over to the crushing factory. Now, the only ones that need to go in there are going to be ones that have already gone through the purifying factory, considering every other thing is going to get processed starting in the enrichment chamber. So this one, technically you could set a side config to send it over, but I'm just going to change it so that this one, if we click on here and go to extract, is going to always be active, and it is going to use channel blue. And then this one is going to go to in and out, insert on channel blue with no filter, and extract on channel purple. And then we come down here because the enrichment factory is going to be the next one that we want to go to. And I guess this one actually gets a little bit awkward. This one gets a little bit awkward because we have certain items that are going to get pulled out on channel brown. So this one needs to be in and out. This has to be on channel brown because certain items are going to get pulled out, and they're going to try and go in here first, and then they're also going to try to go in here. So we do need a filter on this one, so we might need to use a basic filter. Huh. Okay, actually this causes some issues. There are some problems with this. We might need to flip this system around a little bit, because yeah, so we can flip this around. The reason I say this is because items from this one need to automatically go into this one, but other items that get put in the conduit in the back also need to go in here. So what we're going to do, oh, this messes up the whole thing. This is going to get flipped over here. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're not going to move the top ones. We're going to move the bottom ones. So here we go. The smelting factory and enriching factory are going to get switched. So enriching factory goes over here, smelting factory goes over here. So it's going to go like this. Now the reason we're doing this is because we come back here and we are not going to have this one be in and out. We're going to have this one only be insert on channel blue to make sure it pulls in the same one that left this one automatically. And then this one back here is going to have a side config that is going to Auto eject items, yes, and we want that on, I guess we don't even need that on all of these, I don't think. The conduit should be fine for these. So side config on this one is going to send items down. So we want the output to be there. We don't want these sides on. And yeah, that's fine. And then this one, again, we need this one to be... We don't need any of these on this one because we're opting for the item conduits over this. But technically we could just send them in a round trip like that and not use any item conduit here on this one, I guess, specifically. But that's fine. We'll stick with the item conduit processing for now. Then this one needs to have the input be on the top. Turn these off like so and like that. So now all the items that come from this one that always are going to have to go into the enrichment chamber will automatically go there. Then along with that, we have an input in the back, which is going to be, we'll set it to in and out. And this one is going to insert on channel brown because it's going to insert items that came from over here, which is also on channel brown, like so. And then we're going to put a filter on this one, basic item filter. And now we got to go figure out what items need to get put into this filter. So we'll come over here and we'll type in ore. So all the different ores that need to get processed. Let's take a look at this ore right here. If we put it into, so we can't even use, oh, we can in the enrichment chamber. So this one, nether quartz, yeah, and I guess we should go through all of these. So yellorium, I believe, is a yes in the enrichment chamber. Yeah. So this is a yes in the enrichment chamber. This one is a yes in the enrichment chamber. Uranium is not a yes in the enrichment chamber. Tungsten, I really don't think we need to worry about. This is done. This is done. I believe these will go in the sag mill eventually, so no. I think redstone does need to go into the enrichment chamber. Yeah, so redstone goes into the enrichment chamber like so. That's going to be the same with lapis. We already have all of these. Not going to worry about peridot or whatever. I don't even know how you pronounce it. All of these are good. Not going to worry about those. Galena, no. Emeralds, we can do in... Yeah, so we'll end up doing those in either the alloy smelter or the sag mill. I'm not super worried about those right now. Dimensional... Okay, we can't even... Dimensional shard ore? We can't even... What? We can't even get the shards from that. So the diamonds need to go in there. Cobalt, not going to worry about it. Coal, can that go in there? So the coal can go into the enrichment chamber. Awesome. How about these right here? These do also... Ooh. Wait, what? So these go into Certus quartz dust from that. And then that is actually the dust that gets used again in the enrichment chamber. So that's a little bit odd. I'm going to leave these out for now. We'll put them right here because those get a little bit weird where they have to get processed twice in the enrichment chamber to actually work. Then how about this? This gets processed in not the enrichment chamber. This doesn't get processed in either of them. Interesting. Okay, so that's a no. We're not going to worry about those. And lastly, apatite does not get processed in either of them. Okay, so I might have missed a few, but for now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to forget about the Certus quartz right now, and we're going to go with these 6 because these are the main 6 that we have to process. So these are going to get filtered out in here, and we only have 5 filters, so unfortunately, I think we're going to negate the coal on this one until I can upgrade this, which actually really isn't that expensive. I just don't feel like doing it right now. So we're going to whitelist these 5 things going in here. Okay, so those are all going to go in there, and now we need to go to the out of this, and we are going to extract, and this is always going to be active, so we're going to put a filter in here. We are going to extract the stuff that is going to come out that does not need to get reprocessed. So I believe if we use this and we go into the enrichment chamber, the yellorium dust again needs to get cooked back down, and it should be able to work fine in the smelter. I think it shouldn't have any issue with that. So we are going to allow the yellorium to stay in there, but we need to get redstone, and we need to pull that out because that does not need to get cooked out. Then we are going to, and I'm going to say right now, I don't know if we need to actually filter all of these out directly and like whitelist them. I just think we need to, because technically, yeah, I guess we need to. But I was going to say, because we could just set it that it'll automatically put it into the next one. And then if it doesn't happen, oh, it's nighttime out. Dang it. I was going to say that if you set it to go into the next one at a different priority and it wouldn't go in there, it's just, you could probably mess around with priorities and get around doing whitelisting for most of this. but we're going to do it like this. It should work fine. So then we need some diamonds, which hopefully we have some. So we've dealt with these 3 right here, and then we need the nether quartz. Grab that out, and I said we're scrapping the coal on this one, and then the yellow orium is staying there. Okay, so we're going to filter out then these 4 things out the back right here. So it's going to insert that, and it's going to extract out on channel brown for redstone, lapis, diamond, and nether quartz. And the reason we're extracting on channel brown is because these are then going to get inserted into the system over there, because these are done being processed completely. They are ready to go, and I want to make sure this one is configured properly on this, so it's only on insert. Okay, perfectly fine. Channel blue, and then this one right here is going to have everything in here get dumped in there that can go in there. So then we're going to set the side config to output. We do need auto eject on, so we're going to turn auto eject on for all of these. Actually, this one does not need it on. Might as well turn it on, honestly, because it doesn't matter. This one does need auto eject on, and then this one right here is going to get everything from the other one that didn't get sucked out of it, because it's going to automatically come in here. And if you look, stuff like this should not be able to get automatically input in here. We can shift click some of it in, but other than that, it should not be able to go in there. But this ore will be able to go in there, so I should not shift click that in there. But now everything should be good in there, and then this can be set to extracting everything. It's not going to be in and out. It's going to be extract always, and it's going to be on channel brown. So then that's going to send it over here. So honestly, we should be pretty good to test this out if we want to. So we can come in here and we can grab out the ore, and we'll test out some diamond ore. We'll test out some redstone, some lapis, some silver ore, some gold ore. We can test all this out, and we're going to just go downstairs, and we're going to get a chest. We don't even need to go downstairs to do this. We're going to get a chest, and we're going to come over here, and I really, really hope this works. But we're going to attach this here. We're going to set it to extract, always channel brown, and we're going to start throwing this stuff in there. And we're going to make sure that this stuff gets properly processed in here. Okay, did I set the priorities wrong? Phenomenal. I must have set the priorities wrong on this system. So they must be going all over here. Yeah, they're going all over here. So this is set on priority 10. I thought maybe let's try setting this on a low. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was completely wrong. Let's set this right here on a higher priority then. So priority 5, and this one, where's the other insert? Priority 5. Maybe this will work, okay? Because that, honestly, I would have thought that should have worked. But let's come back over here. And let's grab a single piece of lapis to make sure we at least have the priorities set correctly. Tell me one of these is going to process it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll be back in a second. I'm going to go figure out what is going wrong here. Okay guys, so a lot of stuff has changed. I realized I was being a little bit stupid, and a lot of you guys were probably cringing, because although Ender.io offers the ability for you to do in and out, you can't really do that on these machines, considering you can only set one side to either be insertion or output. So unfortunately, I changed things up a bit, and it actually made it a little bit simpler. So we're going to start from where it begins to where it, ends, and we'll go through all of it, and then we'll watch it in action. Hopefully everything works flawlessly. It seems to be working well, and then we'll call it a day. So first things first, everything comes up here. The priority is 10. I was wrong when I started out. It is the higher number is actually going to have it go there. Basically, you say, like, I want it to go here this much. And so if you have 10, that means you want it to go there more than the one that has 5. So this one is the highest priority, 10. So this is where everything tries to go first. So it's on channel brown. That's going to be where it gets extracted from. So it goes here. And if it can go here, it gets inserted in the back of this, as you can see here, and then it automatically outputs directly to this, because anything processed in the purification factory is going to want to go directly to the crushing factory, not anywhere else. This one is input accepting from that, and you don't need this here at all. Flip it down, none. Then it's outputting out the bottom, because anything that goes through the crushing factory needs to go to the enriching factory. So this will accept it in the top. And then it also is accepting stuff in the back from this right here, which is going to be inserting these 5 different things, which all start their process there. This is also at a priority of 10. This is where it's going to want to go first, since these are going to be coming fresh from the void ore miner. So these will all go in there. As you can see, one is right here. And if we look at this, the output is going out this side right here. So to this, it is extracting it on channel brown. There's no filter. Everything that goes in here gets extracted through this conduit. And then if we look over here, there are 4 things blacklisted. Now, we don't need all 4 of these things blacklisted. Really, we only need to blacklist, as far as I know, the nether quartz, because this can be smelted down into silicon. So this is blacklisted, but I blacklisted all 4 because these are the 4 things currently being processed that do not at all need to go in there. So like I said, only nether quartz needs to get like this. As far as I know, none of these other things can be actually smelted down. If we look in here, yeah, this stuff should not be able to actually get smelted down by anything, so it's really irrelevant. But basically, we're blacklisting all this, and this is priority 5, because what this means is things will not try and go in here first, and the reason it's important is because this has only a blacklist, and so iron ore could go straight into here if it had the same priority or higher one than this up here, because neither of these would prevent iron from entering it. So this one is slightly lower priority than the purifying factory, but higher than the priority of this over here, which is -5. So things that have been in here will come out and then go into the smelting factory if they aren't blacklisted. If they are blacklisted, they will then come down, go around, and enter our system. So if we look at what's getting processed in here, dirty iron dust, that should make its way over here, which is regular iron dust now, and it's ready to go. That'll make it into our system. If we were to put nether quartz in here and allow it to get processed, you'd see all of these will end up coming over here, but we will not get any of our nether quartz over here because that will get sucked back into our system. So there you can see it's getting pulled out, not coming over here though, and this system seems to be running flawlessly with this. It does not seem like we're having any problem with our electrolytic separator, any of that. So really all it comes down to now is adding a bunch of upgrades to all these. We do have to actually add a, do we have a proper facade for this? This should be the right sandstone facade for this one right down here. No, it's not, unfortunately. This is the proper one for the one right over here. Might as well throw it down there. So we do need to do a little painting. If we look over here, facade. Yeah, since these aren't right. So we're going to take this one and we're going to paint this the proper way with this tile right here in the painting machine. So we'll toss that in there, that in there. Once we get this, everything on this side of the room should be done for the day. So there we go. Unfortunately on camera it was a little bit haphazard. I really didn't plan this out beforehand. A lot of you have said you kind of like seeing my thought process. So you got to see my thought process in action. So these systems all running great, and really all it comes down to is adding some upgrades to them. And unfortunately I only have speed upgrades right now. The metallurgic infuser though is fully upgraded. So no, it's not. It's only got speed, no energy. Well, it looks like I need to add a bunch of energy upgrades. And then I'll have to add some gas upgrades to this one too, because we want to make sure we use as little oxygen as possible. But of course, that's all off-camera stuff. You guys have seen the proof of concept. So off-camera again, I am going to go through, take all the ores that we can process, and I will send them through. I'll probably take out everything that has ore in the name, and I'll do some processing for, you know, the sapphire and the ruby, which once we move the sag mill over here will be a lot easier. But I'll send them back through and we'll see what ores we end up with, because that's a really easy way to tell what ores still need to have a set process set up. So, you know, you feed them back through and it's almost like you're filtering them out. So I think that's going to be it for today, guys. Sorry if the video wasn't as structured as normal, but this was just kind of, I want to do something. I kind of know how to do it. And so here's me trying to figure out how to do it on camera. Hopefully you guys weren't cringing too bad with certain portions of it. I apologize if you were, but if you guys have any suggestions on how to make it better, which I'm sure you do, please post them in the comments, because I always enjoy, you know, using your suggestions in the videos. Again, thanks for all the support you guys have been giving me. It has been monumental these last couple of episodes. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you later.